I'm Tim Richter. Yeah, when I first started in this business, I was barely 21 years old. Been there, done that, got my name on it. All I want to do is help lighten your load and give you some simple tips. The bottom line is, we're all technicians. I'm ready to rock now. Can you imagine if one of these dishes were to not be tuned in properly? That would mean lights out. Not that bad, but bad enough for millions of customers to lose their DirecTV service. Hi, I'm Tim Richter, and today we're going to be talking about the importance of tuning in satellite dishes, just at a smaller size. To help you understand this a little bit, we're going to go to the engineering department with Mike Fry. We're going to show you some things to make some sense out of all this. Come on.
Before DirecTV launched their new KA satellites, we had our 3 orbital slots at 101 degree, 110, 119 degree. The Phase 3 and the 18-inch dish had plenty narrow enough beam to where adjacent satellite interference was never a problem. Peak the dish, set the tilt, good to go.
That was that plug and play stuff that we were talking about earlier.
Exactly. With our new KA satellites up at 99 degree and 103, there are other satellites owned by other companies that are going to be within 2 degree spacing of our 99 and our 103 slot.
So if I did the math on that, that would be basically a 97 and a 105.
Exactly. Those are 2 potential interfering slots. They can share the same frequency band exactly, and therefore, if and when those light up someday, I expect the phone to ring off the hook due to all the, any and all mispointed dishes out there. Here would be center of peak, okay? Pick a satellite meter or a spectrum analyzer, $40,000 spectrum analyzer, doesn't matter what satellite meter you use. We found you can only get within about plus or minus a half a degree or so of the very center of the peak. There's this dead zone around, plus or minus 0.5 degree. The meter won't show any change within this region. The KA-KU ODU has to be aligned within decimal point 1 degree accuracy to meet all of its specifications. How do we get there if the installer meter will only read within maybe plus or minus half a degree of true bore sight? That's where the dither procedure comes in.
What you're telling me, and everything that you've said is spot on, right? And there are a bunch of technicians out there who just simply believe that tuning it the old way, just pointing it at that 101 and thinking, oh, I'm spot on, I've got 98. So you're telling me that you can show me on how far off I'm going to be if I don't use the tuning procedure, because I see many technicians that try to prove me wrong every day, that just shooting at that 101 thinking that, okay, I've got the sweet spot, Tim. Now I know I'm going to get the 103 and I know I'm going to get the 99. But what they don't know is everything that you've just explained, right?
Well, why don't we go outside to a dish and prove it?
Okay, I'd really like that, because, I want to make some believers out of some technicians. So let's go on out there and show them how to do it right the first time. Come on.
What we're going to do, Tim, is this is basically similar targets that we used when we qualified some of these mounts.
Right.
We're going to use the dither procedure probably several times and bore sight an antenna the absolute best we can on the satellite. Then we're going to put a laser dot attached to the dish right in the very center. Then we're going to shut the laser off. We're going to have you align the dish, not using the dither procedure, using what some of the bad technicians do. Then what we can do is, how about if we go grab one of our staff inside that has no experience with dishes, and we'll have them follow the procedure and see how accurate they get.
Okay.
1 degree from here up. These are 1/10 of a degree increments. When we're done, the dot will have to be within this decimal point 1 degree region here. Pretty small target, huh? Okay, Tim, what we've done is we've used the dither procedure 3 separate times and peaked this dish the best we can so that we know that it's bore sighted, and I've got a laser exactly dead center on our target off in the distance. So it's very repeatable that I can do the dither procedure and that dot pretty much falls right on center. So starting with that, and with the laser shut off so that you can't cheat and see where the dot is, go ahead and give it your best shot, aligning it the way you would have, let's say, a Phase 3.
I'm going to do the biggest mistake that I've seen out there, and I'm going to put this thing on linear mode, which is probably the biggest mistake that I've seen out there. So sure enough, as I've tuned this thing, oh, looky there. I've got the infamous 98, Mike, and I'm barrel on. I think I'm good. I couldn't get much better. I think that's the sweet spot.
Well, Tim, you want to go down and turn the laser on and see where the dot shows up?
I think so, but let me see if I can't get any more out of this bad boy, because I think if I get 101 dead on, or I mean, how could you possibly object to a 98, Mike?
Well, let's see what the laser says.
All right, well, let's go down there, because I'm really curious how far off I could possibly be when I've got me a bodacious signal like 98. So let's go see. So just so I'm understood, you're with my satellite, with my KAKU ODU, and we shot at the satellite. You've taken that laser and you've shot it to this target, and you're saying that I'm going to be that far off? All right, Mike. My ultimate goal is right here. So when the light gets turned on, it's going to show my error?
Right, and to meet spec, you have to be within this first box all the way around, which would be 0.1 degree maximum from center. So let's see if you're within that box.
Okay.
Go ahead and turn the laser on.
Oh!
My goodness.
So you're saying that's a service call waiting to happen?
You're about 0.35 degrees low and not too bad on azimuth to one side, but that's way out of spec. You need to be up within this box right here.
So it's close, but no cigar.
Let me detune the dish a little bit so that you start from essentially from scratch.
All right. So now I'm going to do my normal gig. Tune on my meter. And let's see. Okay, that just about hits it right there. Let me do just a little more tweaking. These dials, I guess they really don't make much more sense to me right now, because I'm just tuning it my way. And my way is getting another 98, 99.
And unfortunately, this is how some guys are installing these dishes.
I think I've got it this time, Mike. I think I'm going to be much better on. So let's go take another look.
The laser doesn't lie.
Okay, the suspense is killing me, Mike. I kind of feel like it's a
Laser on?
deal or no deal.
Well, how far are we off there?
Oh!
About 0.37 degrees up and about 0.12 degrees over.
Well, last time I was low, right?
Yeah.
And then this time I had the same signal.
But you thought you had the best peak in both cases?
Well, I did, and I did everything that I did last time. I was just getting the strongest signal out of that dish as I possibly could have, but now I'm high.
Well,
so it could be different every time.
You want to give it one last try and see if you can hit that bullseye?
I'm feeling lucky today. Let's go give it another try.
Let me scramble the dish up just a little bit.
Don't mess it up too bad. I was kind of close that last time. I was real close.
Okay, Tim, give it your best shot.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to tune. Trying to get the best that I can. I really kind of like that 98, because I know that's the number that we all kind of want to get. Oh, here we go. We are on. Okay.
And don't be turning that laser on and cheating on us now.
No, I won't. Here we go. I think I've got it this time, Mike. I've taken all the skill that's been taught to me. I think that I've got the strongest signal possible. I mean, my God, how could you miss with this big dish, right?
But you haven't done the dither procedure. So
but sometimes we haven't got time. I mean, look at it. It's getting ready to rain. I got to get out of here. I got to go. Let's go check this out one more time. Third time's a charm. I think I'm on this time. Been there, done that, got my name on it. I better be able to do it right. Okay, deal or no deal? Oh! No, I went to the right.
Still not within that 0.1 degree box that we're looking for.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you, Mike, I guess you made a believer out of me.
I'll tell you what, let's add a little twist to this. Let's go get one of the broadcast center's staff that's never touched a dish before have them follow the dither procedure and see how they do.
I think that's fair enough.
All right, let's go find a victim.
Okay. Well, this was a lot of fun. Okay, so Mike's gonna go inside and he's gonna go get somebody that's basically gonna follow the instructions to the T. So I don't think they can do as good as I can, but nevertheless, let's just talk about what we've learned here. I've taken the dish, the ODU, and I've adjusted it the tightest, the best that I possibly could. I had a bird dog that's also familiar with all of us, and I've tuned it in to the strongest strength I can get. In fact, I did it improperly. I put it on linear mode just to get that highest signal reading that I possibly could. Now that's a no-no, as we all should know right now. We've got to make sure that it's on the BER log setting on the bird dogs. So let's go up to Mike and see what's going on. So Mike, where's this individual that's going to do it better than me?
Well, here comes Veronica right out of the...
Oh, well, hi, Veronica. I didn't see you standing there. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
I understand you're going to show me up today.
Yes, I'm gonna try my hardest.
All right. Well, Veronica, I'll let you have the stand right here.
Okay.
What we'd like you to do is, I'll explain some of the instructions to you. It's a fairly simple procedure.
Okay.
Use a nut driver, and you'll be making a few adjustments on the dish while watching the meter.
Okay.
And it'll involve counting some of the turns and presetting a few plastic dials here. So you're ready to align a dish, Veronica?
I'm ready.
Basically, we'll be looking at this scale right here. Peak this up to where you've got the maximum signal. You're going to peak the elevation in the same way for the maximum on the meter.
Okay.
So just watch the meter. That looks like your course peak is done.
Okay.
Now we'll start the dither procedure. Preset that little dial there to 0. You'll have to sort of set the plastic dial to 0. Turn it exactly 2 turns counterclockwise. And you got to watch the numbers go by. Okay, take a meter reading. So we'll write down 56. You're going to now turn clockwise through the peak until you get down to that same reading we just took. All right, you're just about there. All right, that looks good. And how many turns has that gone? Since you already went 3 turns.
8.
0.8, so you've gone 3.8 turns. 3.8 divided by 2.
All right. So let's see how close you actually were.
Let's see.
Okay, let's take a look. Oh,
Wow. Okay.
wow. And how long did that take you?
No time at all. Few minutes.
Wow. I wish I could do that. Maybe I'll follow the instructions so I can do it right the first time myself. How about that? A person that never done it before gets it spot on. What does that tell me? It tells me that no matter what, we've got to follow the instructions. We've got to believe that the instructions that are taught to us are for good reason. No, I'm a professional. I tried everything I could to do it my way. And no matter how well I thought I tuned it, it was very evident on how off I was. Veronica, she took the time to do it right the first time, and she was spot on. Just shooting from the hip isn't going to cut it. It was very clear that every time I did it, every single time of those 3 times that I performed that same way of doing it, it was off tremendously. I was going to generate a service call, coarse tuning, followed up by the fine tuning, followed up by the dithering. All those pieces are critical for a job well done. The laser doesn't lie.